My name is Tay Henderson. I am the Executive Director of Lighthouse Ministries. The Lighthouse started in the early 90s. Basically, we were going to the Salvation Army. Through our church, we took a group of like Asbury students. There was probably about 30 of us. And we would go down there and do puppet shows, snacks, crafts, and show movies, and just minister God's love to people. And there was a guy named Jesse who struggled with addiction and depression, and he ended up hanging himself in the graveyard. And so that's what spurred us to start looking for a place downtown where we could start ministering to people. And so that's what we did. Years later, we found a building that we started renovating. During that time, my late husband got sick with advanced liver disease, and his goal was to retire from the post office and run the Lighthouse and run a men's program and do all this stuff. And he ended up getting sick with advanced liver disease, and within a short amount of time, he was on a transplant list, but he was not on it very long. And we were so excited when we got a call from University of Kentucky that they had a liver for him. And so when he went to the hospital and, went into surgery the next morning, you think that that's the answer. Well, he ended up dying going through the liver transplant surgery. And so it was I'll probably cry. It was at that time at his funeral that God had called me to run the Lighthouse Ministries. And I remember thinking, oh my God, I'm going to have a lifestyle change. It's not going to be the same. I worked, I had a job, I had kids at home, I had a life. And so what I did was I told God that I would do it. And so I went over to this building, and the building that we were in that wasn't finished and nothing was going. And I just got on my knees and told God that I would commit. I committed myself, and nobody was there with me. I got on my knees and I committed myself. I said, I will be a doorkeeper in your house. I'll do whatever you want me to do, and I'll go wherever you want me to go, and I'll say whatever you want me to say. But I still resisted God in a lot of different ways, but he already knew I was going to do that. So that's what birthed the Lighthouse. Clean Start is where we can help people get a private shower, change their clothes. We provide the toiletry items that they need, shoes too, if they need it. Our feeding program is called Dining with Dignity. We serve 2 free meals a day, Monday through Saturday, and 1 meal on Sunday. We have a safe environment for our guests, volunteers, and staff. In 2014, I noticed that people's shoes were either what I call blown up, duct taped, or talking shoes. One guy in particular's name was Michael, and Michael's feet were bleeding and blistered, so messed up that I called somebody to come and help me with him. And I thought, okay, this is enough. We're going to start getting shoes. Self-care is another one of our ministries that the Lighthouse provides. We believe that a step towards self-care is a step towards self-love, so we distribute hygiene and toiletry items. During the winter, we also give out blankets, coats, and winter weather gear. We also open as a cooling center in extreme heat and a warming shelter in extreme cold. We also have the Journey East Church, and I like telling how that started. I called my pastor, Gary Brown, about starting a church, and he's like, really? And I said, yeah, really. He said, well, let me pray about it, and I'll call you on Monday. So when he called me on Monday, he said, I asked you 10 years ago if you wanted to start a church, and you told me no. I said, well, I wasn't ready then, but I'm ready now. And I'm telling you, that was one of the smartest things that I've done, because it really brought people together and making them feel like they belong somewhere. We're not just another church. We're a church that's doing something and changing people's lives.
I've been around Lighthouse for about, I say, 10, almost 15 years. My favorite part is watching people come in and seeing the smiles on their faces when they leave. That's been the best part. The favorite story that I've heard so far is yesterday a lady came to us that has been taking showers here, and she got approved for her apartment yesterday. and she's going to be getting furniture moving in next week. So that's one of my best stories I've heard so far.
The Lighthouse is grateful for every donation, every volunteer, everyone who cares about us and cares about the mission that God has called us to do. We take it serious. We are good stewards of the money that God has provided, that nothing is kept. We use it to keep this ministry going and helping more people, thinking of ways. I'm a practical person. I believe in meeting practical needs, and feeding and showers and clean clothes and mental and emotional and drug addiction are all things that really touch my heart. And that's what I want to be effective in everything that we do. So your help is greatly appreciated.